browser's going.
Okay.
So
Yeah, now it says
Live.
live.
Now it's live.
it says it's going live now.
Yep.
Oh, I do see it there. Okay, y'all. I'll tell you what. I'm going to welcome everybody to our first live. As you can see, I'm pretty rusty. I haven't done anything live in a number of years, number of years. I'm Tanya Dixon. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves while I prepare myself over here. How about that? Come on, team. Y'all go ahead and tell them who you are.
I'm Element Rose. That's what I'm known as the art pseudonym. My real name is Shannon Rose. I do everything from paintings to video edits if I need to.
Well, greetings and salutations.
Michael.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Michael. I go by Michael Lee. Represent Turn 'em Loose. Motivation, inspiration, and education is our thing, trying to unlock that potential. And we here, we live, baby. Let's do it.
Right.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Veronica Joyner, and I'm from North Carolina. And I love to be, learning a lot of stuff, behind Tanya. Art imitates life. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm ready to do this thing.
Okay.
Well, I am Bola. I'm the CEO of Spiritual Recovery Coach. I am an ordained life coach minister. And I help transform women, especially women, from pieces to peace.
I did this backwards here because I wanted to do some things before while I had you all, introducing yourselves. But I'm going to do this. We got to do the opening of the program. So let's go ahead.
That's all right.
Open it real quick. So here we go. Hey, y'all.
We need to put some audio behind that.
All right.
We already have an audience.
And you know what? I don't know if they actually share because I couldn't see it over there. I don't know if it's shared or not, but I'm trying it. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm about to share this link with a few people right now who have requested it. And I know my big boss just came in the room. So y'all going to see Big Boss tonight. He's mad. He had a bad day. I think, Bola, what you said, the anxiety that I have, I think that he had it too, because when he threw up, I got really nervous. But now that I took him out for that long ride and he had chicken and rice, I think we're okay now.
Good.
Oh, chicken and rice will do it for them.
Yes.
Chicken and rice will do it. Mom loves chicken and rice.
Yes, I think ever since he had his boiled chicken and rice, we all good now, so you will see him probably floating in and out, trying to boss my business. But, but you know what we talked about, and I'll tell you this, I had a conversation last night with Shannon and with Rick, and we decided, hey, we're going to have, some conversation here tonight about, another topic. So we're doing live living room. We don't have as many people tonight as we had on the taping the other day. And incidentally, we are going to be doing the taping will air tomorrow because the export and everything is taking so long. That's probably the longest show I've done in a while. So the export is taking just a little bit of time. So I actually will air that tomorrow. But we decided last night to kind of discuss the topic. So we said, hey, what about the topic? Rick was talking about how it's like a double standard, with women and men on different things. And I call it, he said hypocrisy. And I think hypocrisy is a good title because we do have different things between women and men that are quite different in view. And so if we're looking at this in the living room tonight, we're discussing again love and relationships. We're talking again about the difference between our men and women. We got a man representing in the house tonight. It's Michael. So
At least one came through.
right. So I know. All right, there. We're gonna get Michael to on our.
We'll try not to roast you too bad.
Man, please.
We're gonna pull Michael. Oh, I lost the earring. We're gonna pull Michael on our side tonight while we have the moment and the guys that I hear. But actually, Shannon, you were in a conversation with us, and you remember what we were talking about. If you want to kind of start me off a little bit when I gather myself and put myself back together over here, because I am.
I think one of the main things we ended up talking about, because I know on the last taping we talked about a pretty sensitive subject over weight, and he was saying how there was a double standard between women where you can be like a BBW and be loved for it, and there's this big movement behind body positivity, but he doesn't feel that it's the same expression when it comes to men. Me personally, I don't really mind. Like, I don't care if you got a little bit of a belly on you. My ex was a little chubbier than me. Like, he had that little bit of hangover, and I like to come up behind him and just like pet him on his stomach a little bit, you know what I mean? So I don't really mind a little bit of weight. And most of the guys that I talk to are either really buff or like bigger than me anyway. So, but I mean, it ain't hard to be bigger than 5'3".
What you laughing at, Mike? How tall are you?
I'm 5'6", so it is a little bit. It is hard. Every now and then I'm taller than a few people.
But what do you feel about that, Michael? I mean, because I have my views, but I'm going to reserve mine, and I'm going to go ahead and, Michael, you tell me what you feel about that subject.
Well, I'm from Texas, right? So I know down south, folks like they things bigger and better. So, I'm 5'6", 204, 205. So I think I'm chubby, but a lot of people tell me I'm just, buff and solid and swole and all that other stuff. I don't think so. But from my experience, it's a lot of women that want men with some meat on their bones. You know what I'm saying? So, I haven't had any problems. You know what I mean? I haven't had any problems, but I guess because it was a whole movement, with women and trying to get the certain women to feel good about themselves, that men are just men, and I don't really think they look at men like that. Either a man's gonna be a provider, protector, and a procreator, and long as he's doing those things, making a woman feel safe, secure, you know what I mean? I think he got a fair shake, but from my experience, they like the pudge, they like the love handles and stuff like that.
Let me see what Veronica and Bola say before I start some stuff. I'm gonna let y'all know right now.
I love it. I love it.
See, right there.
Whether they're tall, they're short, as long as they treat me right, or their intelligence is above ground, and I'm all with it. I don't have no standard. I mean, I have standards, but when it comes to weight, like I love a little polar bear. I like a little meat beside me every night. I'm a big girl,
Right.
I'm a big girl, so I like, hey, if it's gonna work for them, it's gonna work for me.
Okay.
Because I'm 5'5" and he's 5'5", and I could touch that little belly, and I like to hear him when I touch it. He goes, hee. I'm loving it.
Bola, what you think of Miss Bola?
What do I think?
Uh-huh.
When it comes to size, it all goes back to the media. It's what the media portrays out to us. is what we tend to follow. But deep down inside, to each one of us, we all have our own preferences. Me, because I'm 4'7", most guys are taller than me. But I'm more attractive to guys who are 6'2" and up than I am to the guy who is 5'5" or 5'6".
Because you can't sneak into the theater. You know what I mean? You gotta have somebody that looks like an adult.
Well, I used to do that. It's like,
I mean, I'm saying, like, I do the same thing.
Yeah, I act like I'm your daughter. And they're like, I want to do that. I said, look, you get cheaper if you do it that way. So, you know.
I heard that one before.
Dude, I was doing that for the longest time. Acting like, even when I went to, what do you call it, tacos, some ponchos, I got in an argument with this lady because she's like, there's no way you're 10. Let me see your driver's license. I'm like, I don't have a driver's license. I was 27 years old. I don't have a driver's license.
Trying to get those kids' prices at ponchos. That's funny.
And I got
that buffet was like $5.
Yeah, man, just like, just give it to her. There's no one. I said, no, just give it to me. I'm 10 years old, you know. So,
oh my God.
I mean, but you know, when it comes to that, me, I like a particular type of man. That's my preference. But it's not my girlfriend's preferences. So, you know, really and truly, it just can't be, is this the right size? Is this good for you? You know, it's what you like.
Okay. You know what? I just had to mute my audio over here. What happened is when my earring fell again, I hit the button by mistake. So if y'all were hearing something, that was me over here doing way too much.
No, we didn't hear anything.
Okay, that's me over here doing too much. I'm gonna tell you this. Okay.
Tell us. Tell us. Here
we go.
Hold on now.
You know, I shouldn't do this because I have a widescreen webcam. And so everything whites out. My hand looks like I can palm a basketball. Look how big it is. My God. You know?
Arsenio hand.
Yeah.
Arsenio.
Right. And everything starts to widen out down here. It's the lens. It ain't me. Okay. But the thing is, it's okay. I don't like get people who say it to me directly, you know, talking about the weight and everything like that. But I have seen guys say this over and over about a woman, she having to look like the dime piece, the buy this and that and the other, but they're not looking at themselves. I used to see guys, and this was, you know, years ago, it's not anybody that's in my world right now, but they have these huge bellies, and when they look down, they see their little legs. Okay, they see their little legs, so they be talking about the woman, and they got these little legs, these chicken legs, but that belly, they just act like it wasn't there anymore. I'm like this: if you can't have the double standard, okay? You cannot have the double standard. If you're going to talk about a woman like that, make sure that you have your stuff together too.
But Tanya, you look at this, especially the rap videos, okay? If you look at a lot of the rap videos, a lot of the rap artists, they talk about a certain woman, but when the women they marry, it's never the type of woman they're talking about. I can name a few of them. I was like, but you used to talk about this woman being this and this and this color and that and looking like this. And then when you look at who they're married to, you're like, huh?
Yeah, that's what they call studio artists, because you know what I mean. They real life don't portray necessarily the image that they trying to have in the entertainment business. But I have had this conversation before where I've had this conversation, and my thing is at least somebody just said it. You know, media, TV, you know, and everything that they portray, societal views. If everybody was born, when you were born, if all you saw was plus size women, and that's what was glorified, that's what would be considered beauty. And if they glorified plus size women and dignified, small and petite, then we would be looking at plus size women the way most folks look at, you know, what's considered beauty today. And then the small and petite women would be, you know, something that was undesired. See what I'm saying? So
exactly. And remember when you said that the other day, I was
right.
talking about how that's how they make money, you know, with these selling all these products, either for you to lose weight or have surgeries or all kinds of products. And that's how they make a lot of money, by promoting that you have to be, you know, pencil thin, you know, and that's kind of what I was going the other day with that. And I'm just distracted because my friend, he sent me a text, and he was talking about, yes, my hand does look big. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. he said head in the text. So I really think he's trying to say my head is too big, but I'm going to say he's talking about my hand. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
It's all in love. It's all in love. But, you know, I just think that, like, you know, back to what Michael was saying again, that is something that, you know, they have promoted. Look at how many products are on the market. You know, on a daily basis, you can have smaller this, smaller that, and then, you know, all of the stuff with fashion, and they finally have gotten around one day to, hey, we better have plus size models because we're missing a whole market, you know. And so for our brother Bernard, who had a lot to say the other day on the other video, you got a whole market of plus size models.
I can't hear her.
Who are making money.
But and you look, can you hear?
Okay, can you hear me, Veronica?
I can't hear Tanya.
Okay, is it? Can you hear me better now? I tend to lean away sometime from the microphone.
Veronica, can you hear her?
I can hear her a little bit, just a little.
Can y'all hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ron.
I can hear everybody else fine, but you, I can't. It's like you're fading away.
Okay, Veronica, it says your bandwidth is low.
Okay.
It says your bandwidth is low.
I'm on this iPhone, so.
So yeah, that could be why you can't hear her.
Right.
See, because Tanya, what I was saying, like in the 90s, all of a sudden, remember before in the 70s, 90s, being black was not the in thing. Looking like a black woman was not the in thing. It was thin, thin, thin. But now look at everybody getting their, they even have garments to make your butt bigger, to make your tits bigger.
Wait a minute, y'all. I'm sorry, I gotta deviate for just a few moments. And really, if I could do the screen share a little bit better, then I would pull this up. Have you all seen the butt implants for men?
Oh, that Botox you was talking about?
Yes.
Botox, you see that?
Yes.
No.
Oh my God. If I could figure out how to share this video,
hold on.
I will pull it up because I was crying.
If you do your share screen, and you can pull the video up.
Yeah, I just got to find the video real quick because I think it's worth sharing.
Bring that, hold on, bring that. Y'all see it. What implants for men?
It's Botox in your butt.
It was booty implants. He had the Botox shots or whatever, and they were walking on the beach, and he was, you know, had the big round.
Michael, not every man has a nice shaped butt. Well, according to me, not every man has that butt.
According to
but I didn't know that was a market though. Like
see, at all. See, but I like men with butts.
Okay.
And not all men have butts.
So you
like big butts that cannot lie.
I was about to say, thank you. I was about to say she the female version of Sir Mix-a-Lot then.
Yes.
Okay, I'm waiting on the remix then. I'm waiting on the remix. Go ahead.
Hey, Bola, we better get a studio and remix that real quick.
Okay.
Right.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm sorry I had to deviate real quick. Because my mind went there, and see, I have to find the version of it. We'll have to probably do it another time because I have to find the version of it I was watching another YouTube contributor, he's a comedian, Kev on Stage, and he had and it was funny. So Kev made it even more funny. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to judge or anything like that, because like everybody does not, every like Bola said, every man does not have a booty. But I just did not expect. I expect that one.
Why not?
Well, you know what? I think that goes back to what y'all was saying earlier about the double standards or the hypocrisy and all that good stuff. Expectation from society. You know what I mean? It's expectation from society that's being placed, placed on men, placed on women. And I for one, I don't necessarily agree with society. I'm a rebel, right? I don't necessarily agree with society. But who comes up with this? Who says that men gotta do this and look this way, and women gotta look this way and do these certain things?
Advertisers, that's all it is. Them making money.
I found it.
By the way, my friend just texted me back again.
I found it.
He said plus. Oh, good. He said plus size or Georgia peach fine. If a woman does not have a good attitude, spiritual connection to God, she's not worth having.
Yeah, it's that personality. Because trust me, I done seen what they consider, what they say fine is wine, and they got a stank ass attitude, right. And I'm chucking the deuces, you know what I'm saying? Or other folks, who are similar mindset, chuck the deuces. I mean, because what's the point of trying to be with somebody that look a certain way and you can't have no conversation with them? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think so. You know what, Shannon, you just sent that to me.
Yeah, because you have it to where I can't share my screen.
Okay, how do I make it to where you can share too? Multiple participants can share simultaneously. Gotcha.
There you go.
Okay, now see if you can share that screen, because that's worth seeing. That's worth seeing.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Oh."
That's what they do. But he got. What the hell is that?
I'm just saying.
And he but he walking like he just know like he the bomb.
I'm sorry, but that'll be a negative. He look like he is like.
But he walks with pride.
Falls runway.
Oh, my friend, he found it too.
When he went out to the beach that day, he said, "Man, I'm gonna kill him with this one today." That's what
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him with this one today.
And my friend said, "I am so done." he's done on that one too.
No gosh. That's what I'm gonna say. No bueno. No bueno.
But you know what? But there are a lot of people out there who would like that. And I'm not just talking about women. There's a lot of us who would like that.
That's funny.
Oh
my God.
But it doesn't even move. Like, that's my thing. Like, it doesn't even move. Like,
look a beehive.
Back. Like, what's the point?
Oh, it ain't got no bounce back.
They ain't got no bounce back. You can probably
you can slap it, huh? You can slap it, huh?
I'm just saying. It's gotta have the reverberation. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you: is that the way that you can tell? Because our conversation is flowing in somewhere else different. I'm fine with it. I'm fine, but is that a way that you can tell about if it's real or not, if it doesn't move?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks completely different.
There's somebody, I'm going to put the name in the chat. I'm going to put the name in the chat of the person who I think has that kind of butt, and you all can, I don't know if I'm going to say it.
You know what,
Kim Kardashian, like you can tell from the back, like just how like her butt cheeks sit on her thighs, like it folds different.
But not only that, everybody has a physique. So when you alter it never will look right. It will never go with your whole body.
Right.
So you can just look and say, like you said, Kim, everybody
doing something that dramatic. You know what I mean?
Like when you said,
you gotta have butt compatibility.
When you said Kim, everybody said they want to look like Kim. I said, why? That's fake. what she's done is not real. That's not her real body.
Right,
Exactly. You want a butt and all chest like that, it's got to be real. And there are a lot of women out there who look real, who are real, who are built like that. She need to get that look. So that is not the standard. Anybody can pay to get that look.
Yeah,
I want
work out. You can work out to get that.
I don't know if I can spend that much money.
Let me ask y'all, did my volume improve? I switched mics.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my friend said that everybody else is better than mine. So whatever I did, I'm leaving right here.
I can hear you good now.
Yeah.
Like me personally, like I mentioned on the last show, you know, I was like 105 up until almost my junior year of high school, and then I slammed into like 160 because my diet completely changed. I mean, I always had like a shape, but I mean, I really started working out like the past 15 years probably. I've completely changed, not really changed, but like added on to my shape. So I mean, you can go into the gym and build muscle on top of where you want to build muscle. It's just people want that easy escape to be like, oh, I want this body, but I don't want the upkeep.
They want the fat, the quick and easy. But look, when you hit that thing, at some gun supposed to have a little ripple effect. supposed to have that, hey, look, it's right here. It's supposed to have that smooth motion. If that thing now,
I just said something to Shannon. I just didn't want to say it out loud myself.
Right. For the folks that's athletic and things like that, they're gonna have a little, you know, compact and tightness to them or whatever the case may be. But I'm still baffled that dude was walking like that. Like he was just really like the bomb diggity. You know what I mean?
You know what he looked like to me? Like he had doo-doo. Like he had doo-doo in his pants. Because it didn't look real. Yeah. Why would I want my man walking around looking like that? No.
Hey, but did you see the way he was drink though? You see the way he was holding his drink? I'm telling you, the way, look, when you look at that video again, he was holding that drink like, yeah, baby. Right.
Shannon, bring it again so we can get.
Hey, look at the way
he on the back of a beat.
He does though. He does.
Watch. If she share that video again, you watch how he holding that drink. And he poking
like somebody was hitting him from the back.
Uh-oh. Look at it.
He probably
and like from the back, it doesn't look that bad, but from the
right
side,
there. Look, you see how he
right there.
You can't tell me nothing.
You said Shannon, you said from the back it didn't look bad.
Okay, hold on. When he's coming around on this angle, when he's coming around on this angle, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, like whoa. But then he comes on this, he comes on this angle in the back, and you're like, oh, okay. But then you see the full back, and you're like, oh wait, no.
It does look like a diaper situation.
Yeah.
Like a wet diaper.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now, is this in the States? Because typically, in the States, people wear like basketball shorts on the beach. But when they wearing stuff like that,
it might be from Florida, because like there's a lot of different people from different countries here.
But there's a female that I sent you the name of, Shannon, that
that's what I was
has hers is the same way. Hers is the same way. I see if you can find the shot, but hers is the same way. I don't know how we got on butts, but it is what it is. Yeah, I did. That's what I did talk about it. It's what it is.
It's a thing.
What about that man with the Botox butt? That's exactly what he said.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a thing called symmetry. Right? You got to have symmetry. Symmetry flows. And so when you have an abrupt breakage in the natural symmetry of things,
right.
It causes you to notice because it don't flow. It don't,
Has implants?
Okay.
Has implants?
There's one, the middle shot looks more like it. Like, I can't believe we sit here looking at these butts, but still.
This one looks real though.
That's what's
She looks like that one looks like she's had it. Awesome. The middle one looks more real to me.
You think so?
The middle one, because it's not much bigger. look at her breasts and her shoulders, everything. It fits.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's
Okay.
it
more
looks like
fit.
muscle here.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that look Photoshop to me. You know, when I look at it, it look a little bit Photoshop, but
This one is,
It
yeah.
could be.
That is funny. I got my stop laughing.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
Veronica, you quiet.
I know Veronica ain't saying nothing.
Too much. Too much.
so
Like-
let me ask y'all this though, because
Mhm.
you know, we look at that and everybody like, oh, this, that, and the other, but like you got some plus size women that still have this, they still shapely, you know what I mean? They still have, you know, they plus size, they big, or however you want to call it, and they
Mhm.
still have the figure.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that I think, you know, like I say, for men is more visual. I think that as long as that, you know, that figure or that shape, I don't know what it called, what is it, Coke bottle, hourglass figure.
Yeah,
right?
hourglass figure.
You still have that hourglass figure, and you can be as big as you want to be, as small as you want to be, as long as you have that hourglass figure, that curvature. That's what I like to call it, curvature.
Curvature.
You know, because when we look at someone, we have that visual stimuli. Our brain is trying to process what makes sense, and so see that it makes sense, and then that's what we accept. When it goes against the norm of what we used to seeing, that's when, you know, you do the double take or you do whatever. You know what I mean? That can go both ways. That could be something that's considered to be abnormal, and you like, what? Like, look at that, or something that could be really, really stimulating, but then it'd be the same because it's not, you know, it's different.
What you used to.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't know.
Well, you know what I think about?
Well,
back to, you know, just the whole thing about hypocrisy.
Right.
Overall, you know, I do think that there.
That type of booty, I'd still say the same thing. Like, oh God.
Oh my God. So, I mean, I've heard and I've engaged with, you know, a lot of conversations where women have a lot to say about the men and their preference. And I don't know if I'm changing the subject, but like somebody said earlier in the rap videos, they talk about the whole preference, it's colorism. If you, you know what I'm saying? And I hear a lot of times, you know, it's men who think like that make it hard, you know, for you know, women like us, you know, because a man says he prefers, you know, Latin, Italian, or whatever, you know what I mean? And a lot of the black women will be like, you know, they make it hard for women like us. And I'm just like, well, that's that individual's preference. That don't mean that's the rest of everybody else's. You know what I mean?
Right. I think we hit like a time where there people wanted to do more exploring, you know, with racially and everything. I saw that happen, you know, like being in the industry and music videos, interviewing artists and shooting music videos and stuff. You started seeing the whole thing change, the cast change, and it became a look of ambiguity for the woman. She had, like, they would call it racially ambiguous. Have you noticed that you wouldn't know the racial background of the young lady? It would always be someone to this day, you know, is racially ambiguous. And I think we go through our phases like that. You know, a lot of Black men, you all go through your phases like that, where you want to have the ambiguous person that you're showing in these music videos and all. And I'm not saying whether it's good or it's bad or anything like that. I just noticed that there was a trend where it just kind of changed, you know, and just kind of grew into that. So what do y'all feel about that?
That's what little Kim said, though. She said that's one of the reasons why she changed her whole look, was because she was tired of her boyfriends like cheating on her with more European women. Like, I mean, that's what I heard. Was I don't want to like say that out as facts. I don't want to say that out as facts, but I'm saying
put that out there right now. You know what I mean?
You know, like, you look at how she looked back in the 90s.
Right.
She was like, I thought she was gorgeous then.
Like Tiny.
But you look at her now, and it's like, it's
Tiny. You know what I mean?
a completely different person. Like,
you said
like,
Tiny, right?
You can't even.
Yeah, like Tiny. Like was it you guys' wife?
Right.
back in the 90s, man, that was that, what is it? Escape, SWV, all of them, they,
right.
and
That body change too. And so, I'm just saying, and y'all don't get me wrong out there, whatever you do is for you, and we're
right, we're not
condemning you. Yeah, but
moving
we
away
see the
from it.
difference. We totally see the difference,
Man, that's Hollywood. That's
Right.
see what we're doing is Hollywood versus normal your average person.
but
In
your
Hollywood, you
look like
will right. Tiny
Right.
and them and Little Kim, they have to sell.
Mhm.
They sell off of their body.
right.
Tiny's had how many kids? 6 or 7
1,
kids?
2, 3, 4, 4.
4 kids. Her
Uh-huh.
body is. I know they got a whole household.
Right.
But her body from when she was with SUV is different from how old she is now.
Right.
And unfortunately, society is like, you gotta look like you're 20.
Right.
Well, what you just said something that made me think. Why do people feel like they have to conform to societal views?
Because
really?
like with artists and things like the people on TV, they don't get deals.
You get blacklisted.
Oh.
And that's a sad thing, because I remember this. Now I'll share this story with y'all. I watched, naturally being in entertainment for a long time and doing interviews and stuff. Somewhere in the cross of things, I had interviewed an MCA artist by the name of Lil O. And when I did that interview, there was 4 little girls who was running around the set. And turns out that their name was something like Destiny. They were wearing these white jumpsuits with flowers on it, as cute as they could be. And their father kept saying, come back and interview my group, come back and interview my group. And I was in Houston, and I knew I was moving to Atlanta the next week. So I didn't go back and interview that group. But it turns out a year later, I'm looking at TV. Yeah. And I see 4 old looking little girls talking about no, Destiny's Child. And that was Daddy Matthew Knowles trying to get me to interview his group. And I watched this transformation of these young, cute little girls, and they made them look like old women in order to sell those records and do that whole thing. So yes, it is business. That's the entertainment business, Hollywood. That is what they do. I mean, they love that whole thing, sex sells. And I can't say that it's really good now, but it was a real bad time that we went through for a moment, a very bad time where it was that a lot because of the image of Lil Kim. And so I'm not saying that I listened to Lil Kim music, I was cool with Kim, but everybody couldn't be a Kim. Right. And they were trying to create themselves a bunch of Kims.
Yeah, Sarah was out around the same time, and then they were having a bunch of those. What was that burlesque music video that they did for a while? Like all that was just happening around the same time, And like Britney Spears was coming out with "I'm not a girl, not yet a woman," but now it seems like they're trying, like Miley Cyrus and JoJo, like they have these representations for children, and they try and like rabbit hole them and keep them in this persona for as long as they can, until like they finally, like Miley Cyrus did, she didn't like go off the deep end. She was literally like, I can finally explore myself and figure out who I am as an artist.
Right. That was her whole thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Didn't they do an article on who is it, Britney Spears, about this whole thing, her look, how much her look played into who she was, and that she ended up going off the deep end.
And so we really can't go too
touching my hair. Like, stop touching my hair.
And so we really, unfortunately, can't go too far into that, because it's a much, much deeper story of who pushes them into that. But
Free Britney.
Right? But we just want to make sure that we stay clean here on YouTube. We don't want any strikes. And my friend sent me a message, and he says, "Oh, it's only in America," talking about the Jackson family, and his brother and their brothers say that Amsterdam, and I guess the sex in Amsterdam, that's like the norm. And I can understand that. There's that they're highly sexualized. over there, but we know that when it comes to this entertainment industry, there's more there. It's just unfortunate we can't talk about it yet, but it's coming soon. We get a chance to really, really dig in, and talk about that. So when he said, no matter how beautiful a woman is, the man's a cheater. He's a cheater. Look at Halle Berry, how many situations she's had. Yeah, I know what he's saying, but Halle also has a great team. Halle has a great team. And Halle's team, every time she's been into something and it has not gone well, that great team knew how to dog that man. They would drag him. Because I remember a friend of mine who was always working with Eric Benet and on the road with Eric Benet. Eric told my friend directly, he says, she has a team around her. And when something goes wrong in her relationships, that's what they do. They jump in there and they drag the hell out of that man.
Your campaign.
Okay.
But with that whole thing, the comment is, you can't look at a woman because she is beautiful and feel that man did her wrong. You don't know the personality.
Man.
Of who I think we're kind of seeing. Right. I think we're kind of seeing that she has
by myself today now. We'll get into it.
I think we're kind of seeing how they got a serious. That's all I'm going to say. We heard it from first hand.
No. I'm not talking about just her, but I mean in general. People assume that, hey, well, she's beautiful. She couldn't be the problem. You don't know that until you're in a relationship with somebody.
She's so real crazy.
And it goes back to the expectation of men, and then men get the label of being dogs, and right, and so anytime something go wrong, it's like, well, he must have did something, right?
Right.
And that's that expectation.
That does happen a lot.
Right?
But sometimes
a lot.
Do something.
And Shandy said sometimes they do
I'm
something.
just saying, sometimes it is his fault.
Hey, look,
you know what I found out though? You know what I found out? Most women who date dogs knew they were dogs, and who liked women knew that in the first minute. Yeah, they got in there thinking, hey, I'm the woman who's gonna change him. No, you can't. You cannot change anybody.
Look here.
Unless they want to change.
You change. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this real quick, and then I'm gonna get into that whole change thing. So I know y'all either seen the statement, the quote, or the meme where it says they show a picture of a real what's considered to be fine and attractive lady, and they say somewhere there's a guy who's tired of putting up with her mess.
Yeah, I see that.
And it'd be some fine, Halle or Jada, whoever they consider to be whatever. Right. And then it's a man somewhere that's tired of her mess, right? You look at appearance, right? The physical physique of something, then you like, ooh, yeah, ooh, and your mind runs whatever. But you don't know their personality. You don't know their attitude. You don't know what type of mouth they got on them. You don't know if they
know how expensive they are.
Right. You don't know what that is, and so it's automatically assumed because time and history has always put the man out there to be the whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I'm sitting here saying that men ain't doing whatever, because it's on both sides of the fence. In the situation you in and whatever experience you have, the person involved in them situations know the real deal. There's one side. The other side, somewhere in the middle, is the truth.
It takes it back to the issue of hypocrisy.
Right.
And then right back to that.
Somebody said something about change. I look here, ain't nothing wrong with change, right? I can't think of the name. I don't want to misspeak, but I'm gonna have to look it up. I think it's Hierarchy. Somebody, one of them old people. Change is inevitable, right? Change is the one, right? You cannot deal with change. When it comes to people, right? And somebody said it, the expectation of, oh, he's an 80% good man. He only got this wrong with him, but I can change that. Oh, we're going to change that. No, you ain't changing jack.
And it does not work.
Right? Change comes from within. The only thing you can do when somebody wants to change,
they gotta change.
You have to Only thing you can do is accompany them through change and support them with change when they
Right.
change. You know what I mean? That's the decision.
Right.
But anyway, off my soapbox, back to everything else. But I'm gonna represent for the men. I'm gonna represent for the men up here today. Even though I'm by myself, we're gonna represent anybody looking, fellas.
Right on
Y'all
point.
are not about to talk crazy.
Hold it down.
And you know what? I don't mind folks speaking their mind and even speaking crazy. We just keep it respectful to one another. I mean, I'm cool. You know, I don't mind people saying whatever they need to say. But when you look at me and tell me I got a big ass head, we're gonna have a problem.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I'm kidding. We can see I got a big head.
I don't know how much the attention you pay to social media and some of the quotes and rumors that go on, but you know what they say about women with big heads now.
Tell me.
Oh, y'all want to know? I thought y'all was gonna already know.
That was smart.
So you just making some up.
Let's just say on the X-rated side, it's a bonus and a plus for the men.
Because we
No, it's not that. Mine out the gut, lady. Mine out the gut. I'm just saying,
They could explain it then, because I was on the same page.
What is typically they say forehead. They say forehead. Women with big forehead, tend to have that soul snatcher down there. That's what they right. So
I never heard that.
No,
I never heard that. That's new for me.
Look, she's checking her forehead right now.
I know I got a big forehead, so that's new on me.
Now see, that's what they do. That's what they do in what they call pseudopsychology, right? So, if you can tell in pseudopsychology, I can tell you 20 good things and then tell you like 3 bad things and you'll accept it. But if I were to tell you 20 bad things and 3 good things, you would reject it.
You get to number 5 and I'm like, hold on.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
But you know something, and when you said that, I thought you were going to this place. Sometimes you can tell a person 20 good things and 1 bad thing, and all they remember is the bad. So I thought that's where you were going to go too.
But but not necessarily. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah.
People tend to
I'm one of those people.
Me too. So the next question is, why focus on that
bad things?
Well, the reason why you focus on that one bad thing is because you can think all these beautiful things about me, but if you have this one bad opinion that outweighs all these beautiful things, then how do you actually feel about me?
Who says it outweighs it though? Because if you got,
it depends on what it is. It depends on what it is. If it holds more weight,
I got an example.
Think about me.
I have an example. Like for instance, I've always heard. We women, we already love. Everybody knows that we love Tyrese. He's got a beautiful voice. He loves his voice
as a whole. Everybody,
everybody loves Tyrese. But somebody told me that he have a problem with big women. He have a problem with. Well, he actually have a problem with heavyset people anyway.
But isn't Tyrese small?
Well, he's cut.
No, he's. Well, let me tell you this. I'm not playing, and I'm not trying to be funny. When I walked, I interviewed Tyrese. When I walked in the room, and I'm probably gonna get really dragged for this one, but Tyrese had the biggest head I ever seen. I am dead ass serious.
Camera angles are down here.
How tall is he? How tall is he?
He was actually taller than me, but not super tall. I would say anywhere from 5'9" to 6'1", but he wasn't really tall. No, I would say 5'9" to 5'11". I would say
when you short, trust me, I know, because when I go to the club or in public, all I see is chest press. You know what I'm saying? So when you short and anybody taller than you, and they be like, well, how tall was he? Well, shit, I don't know, 6 feet, because it's 5'9", looks 6 feet to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But Veronica, you cannot just, that's not his preference. That is not his preference. It's not that he's looking, if he looks down on heavyset women, that's different. Then that's not his preference. I don't want to date.
Right.
So I don't really get along good with shorter men because
Really?
Them differently just because they're short. Like that's the thing. Like I think that's what you're getting at is he has a problem with heavier set because it's known that he might treat them differently. So do you treat shorter men differently just because they're short?
No. The reason I don't get along with them because they keep reminding me, well, you shorter than me. No, I've been short. So why do you have to bring it up? You're not that tall as a man. So
But guess what? But guess what? So watch
Huh?
this. As a short man, right? As a short man, is very few instances that you ever taller than somebody. So it ain't. I don't necessarily think unless your experiences are negative, but it's very few instances you get to say and be like, all right, like, hey, I'm taller than you. Right?
See, that's different. That's different.
And my friend is saying only life experiences bring change. He says,
Yeah.
Right. That's a good one.
See, that Michael, what you're saying is different. Oh, they said, first date. But when you start dating them and it's like, well, you are short. You lucky I met you. And you're like, I'm lucky. And I got to remind them, hey, you approached me.
Man, look here. Let me tell you.
No, you can climb on the counter and get what you need with or without them.
Don't make me go in this kitchen and pull out the stepladder I got.
I don't even need the stepladder. I
You
climb
got
on
a stepladder.
the counters. I don't need you.
When I was younger, I would jump up on the counter. I'm 40 years older. You know what I mean? So now I don't want.
So Michael, you saying that you would climb? You would climb to get to a woman too? Would you use the stepladder?
Hold on now, because ain't nothing wrong with climbing a tall tree. I'm gonna tell you
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Now I'm talking about a step ladder to get up to these cabinets that's up in this kitchen, but I'm like, but experiences, you know what I'm saying? Blind, crippled, crazy, big, short, fat, tall, skinny, small, and then you care. You know what I'm saying?
He said there is no barking up the wrong tree. I can climb all of them.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right.
And everybody brings something different to the table. It doesn't matter your size. It doesn't matter your color. It's your preference.
Yeah, and everybody's entitled to their preference and whatever that is. People say they don't have standards, and I believe people don't have standards. And I don't know if standards and preferences fall within the same thing, but like.
Well, give me your acronym again. You have the acronym. Give me your acronym. Miss Pies.
What Miss Pies?
Yeah.
Miss Pies, yeah. Mentally, spiritually, physically, intellectually, emotionally, sexually, then she'll get the best of me, right? And you get Miss Pies, and I ain't figured out one for because I ain't figured out the R, but mentally, I gotta find out that R for the women.
For Mr. Pies.
There you go.
Respect.
Yes.
I was gonna say respect.
I got a whole song about it. Spelled it out and everything for you.
Okay, so you can do the same thing.
Yes.
Mentally, respectfully, physically, intellectually, emotionally.
Because I know some women who are beautiful, they have no respect for men because they feel I can get whatever man I want to, so I don't have to respect them.
Ooh,
that's why they end up alone.
Right. That's why them the ones you be like, ain't no good men left.
They gotta say it like that though. They gotta say it like that though. Say it one more time.
What? Ain't no good men left.
Right. He's saying it in the age group it up. That's what they say.
So speaking
That's exactly how they say it. Ain't no good man left. It's like there's a lot.
So let me ask
through the P to get to them.
Let me ask this question.
I see somebody from Schizo Productions are laughing with us laughing. So, go ahead.
Y'all have no. So, because it seems like everybody here is doing well for themselves or whatever, right? So, let me see. I think I'm finna start some shit here. I mean, some stuff. I'm sorry. So, how about the fact that as a man, you have the INDEP, these women. Right. Okay. Independent women. Look. Hey. So they'll sit there and say, I don't need no man. I don't need no man. I don't know, man, but they
No,
have.
that's the thing, though. There's a difference between want and need. Like,
Oh,
I don't need you in my life. I don't need you around. I don't need you to pay bills, but I want your spirit around. I want you as a person in my life. So
Right, your vibe, right.
If you're solely speaking on spirit, then that's a rarity. But if there's anything else associated with that, then that's not necessarily a rarity. That's the norm of what most men are used to hearing and or seeing. So when people say ain't no more good men around, or I guess chivalry is dead, right? Well, you can't necessarily say chivalry is dead when a man is trying to be a man for you, but you keep rejecting him based on whatever society has you believing because you're trying to be independent. Hold up.
Well, I think that that comes with age too, because I wouldn't, I mean, like I might have said something like that more so when I was younger about the whole independent thing. But now that I'm older and I realize some days it's hard when you're being the man of the family and the woman, and you have so many tasks, you know. I don't want to have to go catch that raccoon all the time. I don't want to have to go do different things that you have to do when you are both sides of the coin. And it is very important and helpful to have that person that you can rely on, not just for tasks that you don't want to do, but just for somebody who is willing to come in and help you do those really hard things that might even be physically hard for you to do or mentally hard for you to do. So it is very helpful to have that there. So I say it changes with age, and that's just my view, but I think it changes with age.
Well, like I come on the other side of that spectrum. Like in the past 3, like I've been in relationships on and off for almost the past 10 years. And the past 3 relationships, I was the breadwinner. I was the one who took care of everything. Like I picked these men up off their feet. And because I understood, like, I understand what unconditional love is. And a lot of men really don't. So,
but then you get tired of going to chase that raccoon.
Right. But then it ends up getting old because it turns into, oh, she's got it. I don't need to worry about it. Or it becomes like and I'm not saying like all men are like that. I'm saying like in my experience, there becomes a comfort in, oh, she's strong. Oh, she's independent. And when she asks for help, she don't really mean it. And that's where my
I got a question. Is that what you're portraying out there?
Well, I mean, I'll let you know. I've been alone. I'm almost the only child, pretty much. I grew up by myself. I don't really have nothing to do with my brother and my sister too much. It's usually like I have a dad, but you know, me and my mom are like this, you know, and all the women in my family, especially on her side, are matriarchs. My mom has been breadwinner of the family the whole time I've been alive. My grandfather on my mom's side died like 6 months after I was born. So I didn't even really have a masculine figure on that side of that family at all. But
there is comfort. There is comfort, and I'll say comfort when being single or having to play the dual roles. I was a single father for a minute, and I had to tap into my feminine side to be try to play mother to my son.
When they're crying,
right, and the softer side of Sears, right? So but right, but but there is that part where you have to play those two roles. And the one hard part about when you do get in a relationship afterwards, trying to relinquish one of those roles, and the roles that we feel, I'm gonna say as a man, like if a woman is independent and she's done tapped into her masculinity side because she's playing mom and dad, when a man comes in, what I am wanting, I can't say expecting, what I am wanting is, I'm a little bit old school, right? So, well, no, I am old school. I ain't gonna say a little bit. I'm old school. Right?
So when I come a woman, a feminine, softer woman.
Right. So I would like if she were to relinquish the masculine piece of it to me, and allow me to be the man that I was raised to be when providing, being a man in a relationship. So that's that. But then as a man that was being a single father, I end up entering into a relationship, and then if a woman wanted to bring about her experience into there, it was kind of like, that's my son, that's my son, that's my baby, you know what I mean? And you're not going to come in here and try to undo that. And so a lot of times where I judged being in the situation, I was able to see it on the reverse side, and then I understood it. I understood it better once I was in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go back here, and then I'm gonna pass the mic.
Okay.
So women will say that they independent. A man comes in who just happened to be old fashioned, or just may have been raised a certain way with a good positive male figure in his life, and he's trying to do the things that he's saying that he was raised to do. But then you got people like, well, I don't need no man, I don't need no man. But then when a man come in, well, I want a man, or I need a man to pay these bills and pay my rent. First off,
Have these.
how the hell was you doing that before I came into the picture?
Right.
And now, why all of a sudden?
Wait, are you living there? Are you living there, or she is just expecting you to pay half the bills because you're her man? Because that's.
Whoa! You said, are you living there? I am a man. She is living with me.
Well, I'm saying then, like, why is she asking you to pay her bills? That don't make no sense. Is she living with you?
That's, like I said earlier, rarity in some cases, because regardless of what's going on in a situation, whether you go to their house or they come to your house, they have expectations of you as a man, but then it seems selective as far as when they want you to be a man versus what you're able to do as a man.
And I'm
gonna pass it back to the public now. Come on, I know y'all got some stuff.
First thing, it has to do with trust.
Okay.
Many people get into relationships to satisfy self.
Okay.
A relationship, when you get into a relationship, it's never only about you. You're not only combining two people, you're combining history, two different histories together. And people are not able or willing to look at the other person's history and who they are, their makeup, to realize, does that fit with mine or doesn't it? So a lot of us many people would rather be in a relationship to say they have somebody than to say, this is not for me, and move on and find someone who is more compatible with them, who fits what they're looking for. And so this is why you have this, I'm Miss Independent. If you're Miss Independent, you need an independent man. You don't need a man. Go ahead.
So I will say this, as I will say this. When I was out there being single and stuff like that, my whole thing, I got trust. Right? So I got trust issues, straight up. I had trust issues. I
understand.
But my whole thing was, any female that came into the picture, especially with me and my son, my thing was, what are you bringing to the table? Luckily, I got away from what I was, just the dumb stuff that I was doing as a youngster, and then I joined the military, so I was able to kind of travel and gain experience and stuff like that. So I was comfortable. I'm gonna say that. So as I got comfortable, at least with myself, mentally and then financially and all that, my whole thing was, I'm established. I'm a single man. My mama taught me as a kid, how to wash, how to cook, how to do this, everything else. And my son know everything that I know. So when you come into this picture and I'm established, what are you bringing to the table? Because I already know what I'm bringing. Now, like I said, I'm old school. So when you do come, I'm just being old school, I got you.
I got a question, because
you got to bring something to the table. So what are you bringing to the table?
And there's nothing wrong in asking both couples, both sides, what are you bringing to the table, so that other person can make a decision. Is that what I want, or is that not what I want?
Well, let me ask this
Most
question.
People don't even do that.
Okay, let me ask this question, because as you all are talking, I keep having this one question in my head, and I asked one of my male friends about this one day. And as Michael's talking, my head went right back to this question that I asked. I see guys, and I'm not talking about you, Michael, I was just talking about my guys that I would hear when I asked this particular question. They would be complaining about the women that they would have in their lives and their kids, and they wanted me to do this and they want me to do that. And in my head, I was saying, what makes you keep going to that type of woman? Is it because they feel like that's low-hanging fruit that they're going to? And because they would be complaining about women and complaining about women with kids, especially. And so I asked my friend about that. And then I asked my friend also, I said, I'm single, no dependents. They will go to her quicker than they would come to me. And he said this, and I'll see if y'all agree. He says, because he knows that he was very crafty the way he said, I'm not going to repeat it the way he said it. But he says, I know, they know that she's sleeping with people. They don't know about you.
She
Oh, that means okay. Yeah, that means that they know that she's not about to tie down. You know what I mean?
Right. And
Right.
that they can get what they want.
Right.
You know, that's low hanging fruit. So
kids,
do you
so
feel
know
that too?
thing. That's probably
And I guess he was saying I would be too much work because, you know, they had something that they wanted coming in the
Right.
door. The women wanted to have their kids taken care of, whatever, and they thought it was going to be a flip and swap. He wanted the, you know, the booty, and she wanted the money, and so it was like a flip and swap. You know what I'm saying? As my friend says, even swap no swindle. But for me, it was different. I guess you could say they don't know about you, and you may take too much work.
Tanya, you know what? Since you're not in the same age category,
Right.
single, most men will not pick us because to them we're independent. She doesn't need me. Well, a woman with children, well, she needs me. It boosts their ego.
I got you.
I wouldn't say ego. I wouldn't say ego. Go ahead, Shannon, because I've been talking long enough. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's that savior complex, because I mean, like, I have the same ideal, but I mean, I don't go after men with children, but I tend to go after men with some type of mommy issue, even though I don't know about it. Because, and I was talking to my therapist about this when I first started seeing her, and I was like, I think a part of me goes, because I was diagnosed with PCOS in January, which means, I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but it's polycystic ovary syndrome. And what it pretty much means is I'm 80% more likely to have a miscarriage and be incapable of carrying a kid on my own without some type of medical interference or something like that. So I think because I knew that my mom had the same issue, subconsciously, I would seek out men that were more of children than of men for me to like take care of and help build up. And then, you know, it inevitably happens. The past few, like, they leave the nest type thing, you know, because it's like I have ceased being a girlfriend, and I have more stepped into the role of mother, and that rubs me the wrong way. But they put me in that place where I am responsible for A through Z plus A2, B2, C2. You know what I mean? Like, I'm responsible for all this stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds like wounded bird syndrome.
Well, I mean, it's for me, for them, it's wounded bird, but for me, it's savior syndrome.
Okay, yeah.
I understand what you're saying, because I used to go through the same thing before the relationship that I'm in. I would seek out men that, you know, either you had a child, and, you know, I know you're a deadbeat dad, and I would go and try to take care of them, you know, to take up their slack, you know, to be in a relationship with, you know, I would pay the bills. I went 10 years paying rent, light bill, grocery bill. He didn't do none of it, you know. And then this child wanted, she was a basketball player, and she wanted brand new sneakers, and he didn't have the money to go and get them. I said, well, look, you know, I'll get them, and, you know, you just tell them if they're from you or whatever.
Right.
And I just went through that.
I've been in the same place. I was 17 at the time. I've been in the same place.
Yeah.
Well, I've got done both. When I was younger, I had men, always got with guys who wanted to take care of me. And I don't need to be taken care of. I can take care of myself.
Right.
Then I switched, and then I found out I dated mommy's boy. So they left their mothers, and when they came to me, I became their mother. So I was unhappy in that. So I didn't look at the man. God had me, he had to take me to a whole lot of stuff on that issue. It's like, it's not the man, it's you.
Right.
Why do you need to do that? Why do you go after that type of man? Why do you let those type of men in your life?
Right. And that's
and because I didn't have any kids.
I'm paying attention to him today, y'all, because he was sick. He was sick earlier today, so I'm paying attention to him.
Hey, Poppy.
So, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I didn't have any kids, so to fill that void, those men were good to fill that void until I, in myself, started loving myself for myself. And it's like, you know, I want to cross in between.
Right.
A lot of the choices and decisions that people tend to make. I can't speak for everybody. I'm gonna just say people. It's broad, but from my experience, a lot of decisions that I have made, and this is just me coming into the reality, the learning this as of now after you living life and experience. A lot of the choices that we make are us problems, right? It's something that we're trying to compensate for something from here, from something that we're dealing with. So if you look at whatever choices you make, is based off of something that's within you.
That's in you.
Right? So if you listen to whatever each one of y'all said, you know, depending on your relationship and what you accepted or allowed at some point in time, I guarantee if you look within self, you'll find out that it was something that either you were lacking or trying to compensate for. And that's why you made the decision to be with whomever. And I was always told, until you accomplish an obstacle or you know,
you keep going through the same thing.
You know, it keeps representing that obstacle. We keep representing itself until you learn how to conquer it. And then, but once you learn how to conquer it, it is no longer an obstacle. So therefore, it is gone.
No one can force you. No one can force you into a relationship. No one can force you to stay in a relationship. Like I remember my friend said, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you leave.
Right.
There to go.
You know what?
After so many repetitions, you start figuring out, like with me personally, after so many repetitions, I was like, listen, because I saw the last relationship, I had 3 years, and there was one before that I was in for 5 years, and the parallel between the two, I stood back after the last relationship and I was like, I need some therapy because I am straight up picking the same men in different bodies.
There's different names. There's different names. It's because it's something within yourself. Most of the problems we have in life, it has never, and this is what God showed me about healing. He said, you focus on what the person did wrong, but what about you? Why did you even get it with that person?
Right.
A friend of mine used to say to me was, they were projects to me. I didn't believe it. Until later,
they were projects.
Because it satisfied something in me. What I lacked.
I don't have a lot of stories like that. I wonder if it's because I'm a vain ass.
I don't know why that happened to me. I was a military child, so
I'm a vain ass Libra.
So I don't understand why that happened to me.
What do you mean?
Like being, you know, falling for somebody that I had to take care of, or you know, I guess I just had to need that void that I don't wanted to take care of somebody. I didn't have, again, like Shannon, I don't have any kids either, so you know, and I've always wanted children, and because my sisters have kids. So, you know, I took care of them for a little while. And then I guess when I met somebody, you know, I always was, okay, I'm going to take care of all the bills. And I got to that point and I was like, I'm tired. I can't do it anymore. This is my money. I'm tired of you lacking off of me. And I got to go. You got to go. You know, time for you to go. Pack your bags and go.
Slack of what's going on.
That's
when I was 17, I was with a dude. This girl. Oh man, this is such a deep story. If I cry a little bit, I'm sorry. But there was this dude I was with, and it wasn't a very healthy relationship. He's one of the reasons why I came out to Dallas. Like, long story short, it was pretty abusive. But there was one day this girl showed up on his front lawn with a 4-year-old and was like, "Hey, this is your kid." And I mean, come to find out down the road, it was actually his cousins. And I told him that because I could tell it was his cousins. I knew his cousin. I was like, "That's your cousin's kid." But like for his birthday, to keep in mind, I'm 17 and the guy I'm dating is 23. Okay. And we're all at his house with his mom and his 2 sisters, and they're living with somebody else at the time. And like, it's this kid's birthday, and I'm the only one buying him a present. In fact, his mama sent me to the store and was like, "Here, let me throw in on a present, and you go get it," because I play video games. Obviously I'm wearing this. I'm always into like I'm using my imagination. I love kitty stuff. Like I collect Barbies. So she sent me to the store to buy him something for his birthday, and nobody else put any effort into it. You know what I mean? And it's just like things like that. Like that's one of the reasons why I don't get involved with men with kids anymore, because like that hurt me so bad to take care of him for 6 months to a year, and then come to find out that's not even his kid.
Wow.
But okay, if you knew it was his cousin, what type of information? If that was his cousin, what was she doing at his house anyway? And said this is the kid. Was
she slept around so much. She slept around so much. She just assumed she knew PT was easy, so she dropped him off at his house.
But if that's his cousin,
yeah.
If that's his cousin's son or daughter, child, that means he slept with his cousin. So why did you stay in a relationship where that even information would come to you? See, we don't a lot of times.
Right. But where I'm from, it's a small town, so it's normal to see somebody that's, oh, this is my baby mama, but they've also like at some point in time, or they are with my cousin or my brother or my friend down the road now, but that was my baby mama at one point in time.
How when you were with that person,
right?
What was your instinct telling you? See, a lot of times I think about him, the relationship, everything.
Oh, baby, I was being R, because you cannot say that word on. I was being R'd. I was being assaulted. And it was just at that point, it was a fear factor of, if I get away from him, what will he do to my family? So I was with him for almost 3 years, and 2.5 of those years was out of fear.
Because I know I dated some guy. He was very abusive. His family. They do. They say same thing like that.
Yeah.
To this day, I can talk to him because I realized, and I'm not saying you should, but I realized I played a part.
Yeah.
Why did I even get with this person? And when I started noticing signs, there were ways for me to get out, but I chose not to.
Right.
And you can only, when you said you will not date, that's why you don't date guys with kids. But you're bringing something that happened with one person, and now you are damning everybody else, which is not fair.
Right.
At all.
And
even me, I remember I said, I don't want to date younger men. Because I've had some inexpensive too. And this person said, well, that doesn't mean that person's going to do that. But I had to heal. Once you heal, you see everybody is an individual. Everybody brings something different to the table. And when you tend to judge your relationships based on what you've been through, a relationship or what you don't want, your past or what you don't want. And now you're able to figure what you do want. Most, especially women, we were given this knight in shining armor type of man to go after. That man does not exist.
No, you don't.
So we tend to get into these crazy relationships. But once we say, okay, I don't want this, and I don't want this, and we begin to heal within ourselves, then what we want will come to us. Mm-hmm. And so you can't just blame that, you also, I don't, and I don't say in a mean way.
No.
Where you came from, the town you came from, your age, it doesn't have anything to do with it. It has to do with the inside. What was it you were lacking that ended you to be in this situation that you were in? Because a relationship is always based on what is it you need, what is it you're given.
Right.
So, Bola, what you're saying is, like, for instance, for me, I was lacking love, relationship from my father. Would that be what it is? I mean, because me and my dad, okay, when I was little, when I was first born, for the first 6 years of my life, me and my dad did have a good relationship, because I was the only child. Then my sister came along. I got pushed to the back. So I was like grandma's baby, And then from there on until I was maybe 21, 22, maybe. Might have been a little bit younger than that. When I, so to speak, got grown, me and my dad did not really get along. We did not get along at all. Then my mom got sick. When my mom got sick, then he needed me to come help take care of it. And then it was like anything I wanted, I got it. If I needed it or whatever, he was right there. But as far as like putting me up under his wing and telling me that he really loved me, was I lacking that? Is that where that came from?
And it could have been. When you go in your childhood, a lot of times hurt comes in at childhood. We don't realize it. We act it out in our adulthood. That could be some of your issues. Daddy, why did you push me to the side when my sister came?
Right.
You were used to, you had something, and for however long you had it, that's what you had grown accustomed to, and then it was taken away from you. And and depending on, I don't know your mind state and how how you were as a kid, but like you probably was processing that as I got daddy's attention, and then here comes somebody else, and then daddy just totally abandoned me. So however you process
abandonment issue,
right? So however you process that made you feel or believe a certain way, and you might have been all right if he came back and gave it to you, but if it never came, because it sounded like you said for however many years, and then from that time till you was an adult, it was missing, and then when he needed you again, you became his daughter, his daughter.
Yeah.
Right? And keep in mind, as you experience these things, and then you realize, like, man, I was missing something for so long, and now here he is, because I'm guilty of doing something similar, as far as feeling that way, like. You abandoned me, but then now here I am.
You need me out here.
And it's like, oh, you need me now, right? Well, okay. As far as what I've been taught, I'm supposed to love you. This is what I'm supposed to do, so I do it.
Prove myself as a daughter,
right? But depending on your experiences that happen, you may accept it and say, you know what? I forgive them, or if it's your parent, I only get one, so let me go ahead and make this right and do whatever. And then you kind of go forward. My thing is, if I can see a noticeable change in somebody, then okay, I'm down. But what I have realized, and this has just happened, the experience with my own mother, when you're a kid, you always see your parent as that superhuman. Right, you see them as that
the protector.
Once you become an adult and you start experiencing things, see, now I can look at my mom And a lot of the questions that I always asked myself and felt resentment for, when I go back and look at it, and my mom says I was 17 with 2 kids initially, and the state was trying to take y'all from me. So the only thing I could do to keep y'all from going to the state was split y'all up amongst family. And I end up staying
hard.
right. And then I end up staying with my granny. I love my granny to death, and we was like this, but my granny was abusive. You know what I mean? So I stayed in an abusive household for about 9 years, and then I went back and stayed with my mom. So my thing was, if we knew that this was a deal, why did you allow me to stay here for 9 years? And then the only way that I got back with you was because, people found out what was going on. And fast forward, however many years later, I sit down and I talk to my mom as an adult. You know, I'm 40 now, but I think this was like at 36, 37. We had this conversation, and then she finally, I guess trusted me enough to, to talk to me. And then she told me the deal. And it was like, now that I'm a man and I done dealt with women, throughout my life, when I look at my mom as a woman and not my mother, I can fully understand some of the things that she had to go through. Right. But if I continue to look at her as mom, I have no understanding because I see her. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
I'm listening to y'all, and I don't want to be rude. My dog keeps having issues over here. I think it's because he knows he doesn't have all of my attention. I told him just now it's not time yet, so I think I got a little time because he went and sat down because I told him it wasn't time yet. So let me tune back in here for a moment before we do get out. I listened to y'all talk, and I guess because my life, I'm kind of so far on the other side of the spectrum. I also had trust issues. I think that's why I didn't get too close. I didn't get too close to a lot of people. It's because I had trust issues where you weren't getting that close to me, because of some things that happened in my own childhood. And so I became a blocker. I'm like, what's the movie where the runner, I had it in my mind just now, running from weddings all the time. It's in my head.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Runaway Bride?
Huh?
Is it Runaway Bride?
Yeah. That I feel like that sometimes, because I've always been this runner for a long time. I was not letting anybody get close to me. Some of it is, all of it mostly is that trust side. So when you all have your stories about the things that happen, I haven't experienced those things, but I'm totally on the other side. I am more willing to have a more of a deep relationship with people, and it's male and female too, but I just, it's a growth time. I had to start telling myself, time out, you're not the kid anymore. And I've been doing that more so in my adult years. You're not a kid anymore. You can develop relationships safer. And then also, it was the kid stuff, but when I came to Atlanta was very much a huge welcome for me, because I found myself homeless and everything because of things done to me at the hands of other people. I lost everything that I own except for the 2 suitcases I have. I mean, I have quite a story. How are you going to lose everything you own except for 2 suitcases and your shows are airing on the WB at the same time? Because I had some very ugly people in my space who did not want to see that happen for me. I wasn't from Texas, but I lived in Texas for a while, and I adjusted to that type of hospitality there. And I came here thinking it was going to be the same thing. And I was like Rebecca Sunnybrook Farm when I came here, very naive to the melting pot, this Southern melting pot. Everybody here from New York to Cali to wherever was right here in ATL. So there it is again. I had to start all over again trying to trust people because of the things that happened to me when I first came in the door, And so that's where I struggle with, is trying to get that kind of trust. And I'm better than I used to be. A lot better.
Like Michael said, until you conquer something, you'll keep going through the same cycle over and over. I had trust issues, but what I had to learn, especially when it came to love, people only know how to love you based on what they went through. And a lot of times we put we expect the person to know what we need. The person can't give you what you need. They can only give you what they can give you based on what they went through. That's why I say a relationship is based on also, when you get with somebody, you have to know their history. It's based on their history. You don't know what that person went through. You want them to love you the way you want to. Like, Vase. Vase could only love me the way Vase knew how to love me. Do I fault him for that? No. Because I realized this is how he knew how to love. Does that mean he didn't love me? No, it did not mean he didn't love me. He loved me how he knew.
How he knew how to love.
Yeah. And I had to come to terms with that. What I was searching for, he couldn't equate to.
Right.
So it was never his fault. It was always my fault.
Right.
I was looking for something somebody else could not provide. And what God was showing me was, you need to learn to love yourself.
Right. Right. In order to like, we use this thing, and like, at least in the military we do, when we trying to like lead troops and stuff. They say you have to have genuine give a damn, and you have to get to know your people. So in order to help them to get to where they're going, you have to know what they did. Right. So that's kind of going along with what you're saying, Bola, is like, you got to know what somebody been in order to help them get to where you're trying to go. And, when two people come together, that's why you go through that whole, or at least you're supposed to, you're supposed to get the court, and that's where you get to know each other's things. And then once you know where they've been, then you can kind of help them get to where they're going. Because if I know you come from a certain home or certain lifestyle, then I should know that, man, okay, they've been through this. So that's something that I might not need to do. And then I can kind of handle them a little bit different. So like once you learn where somebody been, you kind of learn how to, you kind of learn how to handle them, right? Right. Yeah, you said that right. You kind of learn how to handle them. So, that's one of those.
See, a lot of relationships. I've noticed a lot of people, when I've talked to some of my girlfriends, I'm like, what does your husband do? What is it he wants in life? And the answer is, I don't know. So why would you marry somebody you don't know?
Crazy.
That's my first 5 questions. Where are you in 5 years?
A lot of people who don't have a father.
It's hard to say, go answer.
Will not have that answer.
5 years.
Right?
Still with you, boo.
I'm just saying, with you, we got a comment from.
But you know what? My father taught me that. You ask a man, where is he going to be in 6 months? What does he want in a year? What does he want in 3 years? What does he want in 5 years? And he said, and you figure out where you fit in the picture.
Yeah, that's
if you don't fit in the picture,
a whole job right there, ain't it?
Well,
I mean,
but he's
going to be around for a while. What you mean?
Job interview. See, and that's it. People don't realize, when you court, it is a job interview. I remember I dated one guy. He said, well, maybe you'll give me a second chance. I said, second chance?
What do you mean?
Hello.
That? What? Is this baseball?
But I said, I said, if you go to a job interview, do you go with your flip-flops and asking any which way you want to? He said, I said, and then do you call the boss up and say, hey, I know I didn't score right on the first interview. Can I get another?
Hold on now. If I'm in the grocery store in a pair of basketball shorts, t-shirt, and flip-flops, and then you sit there and be like, oh, you kind of curt. And then you...
No.
Hold on. Before we get into the comedy of it, we got a comment from Jay Flores, and he said the first step is recognition. The second step is acceptance, what happened or the pain. And the third step is forgiveness for yourself. Then the real healing can begin.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I agree.
I do have
back to you being curt in the grocery store.
no. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I don't know. To me, this is like a universe thing. the moments where you're at your worst and you're out in public, you're like, oh, I'm gonna just run to the store real quick.
What did I just tell you the other night?
Yes,
What did I just tell you?
That's the time. That's the time when you meet somebody or somebody happens to be arrested. You yourself, you're like, oh damn, like they caught me like this. But for what reason?
And that's what I hate so much. But you're absolutely right. It's good for somebody to see you at your worst, and then they won't. Right, they will always feel like you have to.
It is.
Yes. What about the women who sneak out of bed in the morning and put on a face full of makeup and hair and everything?
Oh, no.
You know, so that's too much. So.
You know what? And you know what? That relationships are usually end much faster than a woman who's her natural thing, because that's what
so much work.
The man.
It's too much work.
That's what you portray to a man. I have a friend. She takes beautiful pictures, but that's not her.
Right.
And so when the guy, no, she's pretty. Don't get me wrong, she's pretty, but on her average day, she's dressed out.
She said, on your average day, girl, that ain't you.
I see it.
Right. But that's what.
I can't say it.
I used to do that. We used to do that in our 20s, and they got on.
Right. Yep.
Sit with your head up like that.
Being all photogenic and stuff. Yeah. It's too much. It's too much.
And then you gotta look like this. You're like, wait a minute, what's wrong with me? No, I don't look like this all the time. Let a man see you for who he is.
Every morning.
Right.
Every morning, we get up in the morning, and it's like, he be like, come here, baby, give me a kiss. I can't do that right now. He's like, yeah, you can.
Like, no.
No. My breath thing. He's like, look, you my woman. Give me a kiss. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. I mean, the stuff in my eye, and oh God, I'm about closed up. And he still wants a kiss. No.
Well, you know
but
what
I feel
I
like
see
if you want that, if you can look at me like that and want me or kiss me, at that point, then I know.
That
I got
it's like we got our on-air spiritual therapy going on with Bola Harding, you know. So you know what? I like how we came in tonight. I'm getting used to the whole live thing. Hadn't done anything live in many years. Everything has been pre-taped. So we come in and learn how to do the screen sharing and all kinds of stuff. And so what I want to do is we'll make this like our Friday night little watch thing, you know. Everybody has to be here every week. Everybody got a schedule, so I'm not going to expect you all the time, but this is something that Veronica and I had kicked around a couple of weeks ago, doing like an end of week live, because I do so much pre-tape stuff, and all the editing is wearing me down. It's really
who you actually are and how you like interact on the fly, man.
Yeah, so I would like to continue to do some live here on Friday nights, and we might get a house full eventually in-house here and people watching. I think people just have to get used to seeing us and, you know, knowing that we're here. So I'm looking forward to that. I enjoy the content tonight. Everything from hypocrisy to fake butts to I'm sorry, I can't get over the fake butt.
I was like, where's the booty at? Wait, talk about that again.
Well, can you hit us with the fake butt one more time?
One more time. Wait, I didn't catch it.
Anytime somebody walking like this here, I'm like, damn, okay, here he goes.
No,
you're not gonna be able to look at nobody the same. You're gonna be like,
I am gonna throw this kicker out here so that you probably can use it on your next go round. But I do want to throw this kicker out here because I had this conversation at work a lot. There's a lot of single women that say that ain't no good men out there, and I ask them why they say that, and they say because I'm tired of having to bring a man to where I feel he need to be. So basically, I have to raise a man into something. Right? Why I gotta come pick you up? Why you ain't got no car? Why you do this? And why you do that?
You know what we need to do is we need to outline that, and we bring it back to the discussion. I want to we definitely have that outline, because I want to bring that to a forum you know, we need to have our guys on here too, and our folks
Can't
watching
just
us.
be women talking about this. We're gonna tear you up. Let's
Right. Because I do want to talk about that, because I heard that a lot for years with when I had a lot of girlfriends.
You know, and I got, you know.
But you know what, Tanya? A lot of black men say the same something similar about black women.
Yeah. And so that's why I want to have both sides of the coin, and we'll all bring all our points. Yeah, we'll stack everything up. And so, matter of fact, if you all want to talk about that next week, that's you know, y'all let me know, and we'll bring the points.
So the topic for next week is, why do women go for scrubs when TLC told us not to?
Ooh. So you got to have one for the guys, though.
So why do men go for?
But wait a minute, did one of them girls on TLC go for scrubs? They used to
listen. They just gave us advice. They said, do what we say, not what we do.
Okay.
Do
what we do. So, but we got to have one for the guys' side.
So I got one for the guys'
go
side.
for Barbies when they say they want something real.
No, so look here. With that, so when you say TLC said no scrubs, then I'm gonna say, you know what I mean? Damn, I just had it. I just lost it.
What's his name? Who is it? Kanye West or no gold diggers?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can say scrubs versus gold diggers.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, we can do something like that. And everybody come to the table next week with their proof. If you want to share us, do some sharing screens.
Everyone has to have a PowerPoint. Everyone has to have a PowerPoint.
Okay. And you can do a sharing screens. If you just have a video that you've seen during the week, we'll try to, because one thing about it is Shannon, if you can even hit Shannon with it, and she can do that share screen real quick over there as my in-house administrator of the booty shots and stuff.
Michael, you sure that wasn't you?
No, that ain't me at all. Hell no. Everything I got is natural. All right, so
I'm sorry, Shannon, you gotta share it one more time. One more again. We gotta see the booty on the way out. On the way out, we got to see the booty one more time tonight.
Hold
on the way out.
I'm listening to y'all say booty one more time.
Just one more time. Just one time.
One more
Veronica said, I had enough. I had enough of that.
She said, I'm
that
out.
Butt was just
He looks like Michael does.
There he is. All right, brother.
I want to have that much confidence.
Strut it out, bro.
Time in my life, just give me that much confidence.
Oh yeah, I know.
He got a woman's booty.
That don't look right on a man.
Well, strut it on now, bro. I ain't mad.
I bet you his nickname is Botox.
Right.
They call him Bubble. They call him Bubble.
Bubble.
It looks like a woman's butt.
We do know one thing. He ain't picking in front. He ain't picking out in the back.
Hey, look, whatever worked for that man. Hey, whatever somebody told him something, and that's why he felt he needed to get it. And whoever that he got it for is meant for him.
It doesn't move. It does not move. That's the part that's bothering me. It doesn't move. It doesn't move. I can't.
Well, thank you, Sharon, for the
Shannon,
for the booty share.
Wait a minute, Shannon, you don't want a man's booty to move like that.
I want a little jiggle. It doesn't matter.
You don't want to rock, but yeah, I get what you're saying. You don't want no jiggling. No jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby.
I might want to do one of these, he's over here, rubbing my booty. I might want to do one of these on the way, or you he's brushed his teeth and you come up behind him and you're like,
oh, y'all have good fun tonight. We have gone from laughing to serious and to back, and actually we'll talk more about our serious woes of things, like myself, my own trust issues, and I'm coming out of that, but still learning. I think the deaths in my family helped me to start to shift. We'll get into that over the next weeks here. Michael, I thank you so much for being that Lone Ranger, hanging in here with us tonight.
Kind of hang tough, but you know what? I think everything was done with a little love and respect. So yes. I'm cool. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
I feel like we need the Lone Ranger theme song for this.
Michael likes being the only man. He
All
likes
right.
being the only man on here. Right. So you don't have to share it with any other man. You just the man, huh?
That's right. And you didn't have to walk on no beach with no big booty or nothing. You just hung in here with
Right.
us.
That's beautiful the way you are. Don't let nobody tell you
I
different.
never knew that. I saw the fake muscle thingies that people was talking about, but I ain't seen that.
No, that's the fake muscle. So what happened?
Yeah.
You haven't seen that? Okay, so there's a dude, and we can talk about it more next time. But there's two people. There's one girl that looks like Barbie, and then there's another boy that wanted to look like Ken, and he has pec implants and ab implants and bicep implants, all that. He don't work out at all.
Let me tell you something. When he starts having sex, he's gonna bust every whistle that they put in them. I can't do that.
But did you see
So
that?
they put it all in.
Wow.
He can't pick up nothing. Poor baby. He can't pick up nothing. The doctor was like, don't act like these are real now.
Right.
Right.
Oh my God.
All over the place.
That's so much.
You see the man? Go at it.
Well, you all.
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Make sure y'all go ahead right now and say your goodbyes, and then I'll say my goodbye.
You want us to say? Just do another plug, a shameless plug.
Yes. Go ahead. Do whatever shame you and leave your people with.
Like I said, my name is Element Rose in the art world. All my social media is Element Rose 13. I do commissions. I do logo work. I do whatever you need artistically. Just look me up.
Well, I am Bola with Spiritual Recovery Coach. I am a life coach. So you can hit me up on Spiritual Recovery Coach, and I help you, especially women, go from pieces to peace. It's all about transforming you.
All right. Veronica.
I'm Veronica. All my friends and family call me Ron or Ronnie. If you want to get in touch with me, call Tanya. She can, she know how to get in touch with me. Look me up, and I'm here.
That's right. Michael.
Michael,
I go by Michael Lee, but I represent the whole Mr. Turn 'em Loose concept, motivation, inspiration, and education. There is a Facebook page out there, but what I would like to say is a caveat is we still in our infancy stage, so we still trying to get everything up and running. But what is it, Mr. Turn 'em Loose on Instagram, if that's what you're trying to look at, and you'll see some of the kind of the comedic style stuff, and then you'll see some serious stuff on there as well. So but once we get up and running, trust me, you're gonna hear about us because we ain't playing no games.
Oh, that's right.
that's
right. And I'm Tanya Dixon, the Tandy Girl. You can hit me on anything Tandy. That's tandyland.com, TANDILAND.com. The real Tandy Girl on Instagram, and Tanya Dixon I got a lot of Facebook pages. You just best go to my website. You can see all our pages and stuff from there, everything that we have from there. So Tandyland, TANDILAND.com. Thank you all for taking the time to watch us and chat, watch us chat, and then people who did participate in the chat, we thank you so much. We're going to really get this thing off the ground and going a whole lot more. So stay tuned. We will be here on the Friday nights, whether we're recapping for the week, whether we're helping you with some issue that you have or talking about our own. This is where we'll be, here in the living room on our Invitations Live. All right, y'all have a beautiful week. We'll see you next time on
Good night,
AIL.